All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and citations to the elect. This is Brother Lawyer from Great Millstone, Miami. And the topic I want to go into in this lesson is the importance of a pilgrim mindset, okay? The importance of a pilgrim mindset, man, and the reason for this lesson, man, is, hey, man, look, man, we at the end, okay? Clearly, we are at the end, all right? It should be more clear now than ever, and it will become even more clear, that, hey, this is it, man, as we, continue to march down, this path of prophecy, right? And so with that, being said and understood, we got to understand that, now's not the time to, be focused on things of the world. Okay. All right. Whether it be, good or bad things that may be taking place in your life, fortunes or misfortunes. Okay. Now's not the time to be, having your heart settled on these things, or, being overly distressed by things that, take place in your life, or even overly joyful, man. Look, it's a wrap, y'all. Okay. The Lord is coming back soon, man. Okay. The Lord is coming back soon, man. We don't got much time left here. All right. Hey, things are moving quick, man. And the status quo of our life is getting ready to change drastically. Okay. All right. We already know, the scriptures talk about there shall be no work for Egypt, man. Okay. And we see what's playing out, man. Joblessness is soaring. Okay. Rapidly, A lot of people losing their jobs, can't find a job. Okay. Violence is increasing. Okay. Wars and rumors of war, and the war drums are beating. Okay. Eventually, shots will be fired. Okay. All right. We know that, the enemy is getting ready to come in like a flood. We know that persecution is coming. All right. Esau and the powers that be are setting up narratives to come against us. Okay. All right. So each one of our lives is getting ready to be changed, and affected dramatically. All right. And so that feeds into the topic of this lesson, having a pilgrim mindset, man, being ready to just, have the mindset of just letting it all go, leaving the world behind. OK. And being strictly focused on, the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, in this time. OK. And so that's what I want to go into in this lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. I don't really know exactly, how I'm going to say this, but hey, may the Lord give me utterance. Right. So this is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 37. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And I mean, that should be obvious, man. OK, we see inflation is at an all time high, and it's going to get higher. OK, we're hearing about diseases that are affecting, people and animals and crops. So you already know the scriptures talk about pestilences and famines. OK, you got diseases that are affecting produce and crops, man. You got recalls on foods and items and different products out there. So it's shortages, famines, right, that are prophesied in the scriptures. We hear about weather catastrophes and, that are taking place. OK. All right. We hear about wars. Right. Donald Trump renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. OK. All right. They're getting ready to come down and do a crackdown on crime in Babylon. OK. And Jake is the face of crime right now. OK. And eventually that narrative will be pointed towards us who believe. All right. We're going to be labeled enemies of the state. Right. And criminals. OK. A surveillance state is here, and they're getting ready to put the finishing touches on it. to where you can't say certain things. If you have been recorded saying certain things on the internet, on social media, you're a criminal now. OK, you're a potential threat, Salaki, to national security. OK. All right. These are all parts of the plagues that the scriptures talk about in the last days, man. The stress of nations. OK. All right. And we all will be affected on some level. OK. Now, is the Lord going to keep us? For sure? Yes, he is. All right. But also to protect our minds and guard our minds, because scriptures do tell us, to guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it cometh the issues of life. What we have to adopt and maintain and cultivate is a pilgrim mindset, knowing that our current estate and status quo, the way we're used to things going, the regular everyday routine, can be broken and shifted, OK, in a way to where, we may not have the comforts that we have currently. We may not have, things that we have currently that allow us to make it through, the day, so to speak, man. But we got to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. OK. All right. So verse 38, it says, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass about her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as one that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as one that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, also he that planted the vineyard, as if he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. OK, so, the mindset is, whatever it is you got going on in the world, you have to understand that it's a temporary thing, and it cannot take your focus, man. All right. It cannot take your focus off the kingdom, off the mission at hand, off the fact that the Lord is getting ready to bring judgment. OK. And what comes with that is that, the different things that we may be occupied in the world, whether it be a job or a family or a woman or living situation, all of that can be stripped. OK. All right. OK. So by adopting a pilgrim mindset, all right, that allows us to, not be attached to these things. So when these things become, a compromise or have to be, sacrificed for the sake of the ministry, we can do so without bugging out. All right. And we can just generally endure and persevere the times to come. All right. And we know that the Lord is going to take care of us anyway. So it really doesn't matter. OK. But I just want to push this vibration out there, for the brothers and believers out there, man. Hey, things are about to change majorly for all of us, man. OK. All right. So don't get too attached to whatever situation you're in, whether it be good or bad. OK. Hey, be prepared for things to change drastically. OK. And of course, pray to Yahweh Shema Shai for strength and provision. OK. Now, yeah, man, because we're getting ready to lose a lot of things, man. OK. Connections, status, maybe even our own safety may be compromised. OK. Because we're going to be targeted. All right. For what we believe. OK. All right. We got to understand this is not our world. It's not our rest. OK. Hey, Luke chapter 21. OK. And verse, matter of fact, let me see here. Is it in Luke 21? Yep. And this is Luke chapter 21, verse 34. It says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. OK, so, hey, shit is getting ready to hit the fan, man. All right. Shit is getting ready to hit the fan. All right. For the planet Earth, man. All right. The Lord wants us to be vigilant. He wants us to be sober minded. He wants us to be locked in. So, hey, stay in that mentality. OK, continue to cultivate that mentality. All right. You know, we ain't, you know, things are things about to shake up for everyone, man. Okay. It's not going to be entirely comfortable, this transition that we're getting ready to undergo. Now, is the Lord going to keep us? He sure will. And we definitely going to be in a better position and condition than a lot of people, you know, really all the people of this world. Lord willing, we're part of the elect. All right. But don't expect things to just be cool and smooth the whole way through. OK, sacrifices will have to be made, you know, different things that we, you know, may be attending to in this life, in this world. Hey, we have to let that go. OK. All right. OK, so the Lord just don't want us overly burdened in our mind with these things of this world, man, because, you know, things getting ready to get tight, man. OK, things, you know, things are not going to be the same. It ain't going to be the regular get up and go to work and, you know, sit in traffic and go to the grocery store. And nah, man, you know, the squeeze is here and it's going to get tighter and harder, man. OK. All right. It says, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. OK. All right. So don't be overcharged. Don't be overly occupied in your mind with the things of this life and world. OK. All right. Be ready to give it all up, you know, to forsake family, you know, in certain cases. All right. To forsake, you know, people that you may care about in the world. But they, you know, they want to be down with Esau agenda. Hey, you gotta be willing to turn, you know, to be like, nah, you know, and cut that connection off. You know, jobs being lost, OK? You know, possessions being lost. All right. The scriptures talk about they shall cast you out of your houses, OK, and spoil your, you know, and spoil your goods and all these things. OK, in 2 Esdras 16th chapter. OK, so we can't be attached, man. All right. We got to be willing to let it all go, knowing that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to take care of us, man. OK. All right. Things are about to change, you know, majorly. OK. Let's see here. I know in Hebrews chapter 11. OK. It talks about how our forefathers were as pilgrims. OK. Hebrews 11 and 13, it says, these all died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off and were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. And they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country that is in heavenly, wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city. OK. All right. So, you know, our ancient forefathers and even foremothers, all right, they were persuaded of the promises. OK. And they knew that this life in this world was not theirs. OK. This was not the place of their rest. OK. All right. This current world. This current present evil world is not their rest, man. And so what comes with that is loss. What comes with that is sacrifice. OK, what comes with that is discomfort. OK. All right. But it's that very discomfort that's what's going to allow us to endure these times. All right. A lot of people going to fold because they're going to try to keep and maintain, you know, whatever life they think they have, or try to strive for something that they think is better. OK, in this world. OK. All right. And that's how they're going to get snared by their own lust, trying to maintain or gain a status quo. All right. Make sure things are, you know, still comfortable and easy for them. That's how they're going to end up with a chip in their fucking hand or in their brain. OK. All right. Or trying to go out fighting, you know, and get mowed down by Esau, man. But that's not the mentality that we have, man. We understand this is not our rest. It's not our world. OK. All right. You know, and we have to serve Yahweh Shem Shai no matter what. All right. That sacrifice can come with sacrifice of, you know, life and freedom. OK. You might be betrayed by loved ones and relatives. You might be separated from your family. Okay. All right. But at the end of the day, man, we understand that if we keep the faith, even in the loss of these things, that the Lord is going to reward us 100-fold, man, whether it be in this life or in the age to come. OK, so keeping and maintaining a pilgrim mindset is important. OK, because, hey, man, things will not always be the same. OK. All right. And ultimately, this whole world is getting ready to go up in smoke. All right. So you might as well, be as detached mentally and emotionally as possible to make it through, in the spirit of faith of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. So, with that, Lord willing, this video is edifying. I just wanted to push that out. The spirit was on me to speak about that, man. All right. Because no matter how good or bad our situation may be, we can't have our heart set up on that. You might be going through something right now that might be trying you and testing you. The Lord said, they that weep be as though they wept not, man. We almost out of here, man. Or you might be in a situation where things are going pretty smooth and good for you. You can't just be settled and, oh, yes, I finally, things are good. And nah, man, the shit's get ready to fucking hit the fan, man. All right. We got to be getting ready to lose it all, man, to gain. OK. All right. So, hey, let's stay locked in, and stay prayed up. All right. So that we can endure. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect. Shalom.